regarding Jesus Christ. You understand the verse, then you understand these hadiths. If you don't understand the verse, you will not understand. The Holy Quran tells that Jesus said, Salamun alayya yawma wulidtu wa yawma amutu wa yawma ubathu hayya. So, Wiladat and Maut, they are referred by Jesus. And with reference to the future Imam, Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is also speaking in the same terms. That his Wiladat will be holy as well as with peace from Allah, and as well as his death. So don't mock at him, don't laugh at him, don't separate him from me. If you do it, you will be separating him from me, you know. Yeah. So these things are metaphorical, spiritual things. They should be understood in relation to the Quranic versions, Quranic verses.
هذه الأحاديث تفهم على ضوء الآية الكريمة التي تتحدث عن سيدنا عيسى والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت ويوم أبعث حيا. فهو ذكر موته وذكر حياته وذكر موته، فالسلام في الموت والسلام في المولد هذه كلها أيضا وصف بها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، فكأنه يريد أن يقول لا تهزأوا به، لا تسخروا منه، لا تعصوه، بل امنحوه السلام.
Now, one tradition, there's so many traditions. The other thing which I must point out, that no Mahdi could be considered as Mahdi who has lived his life and Jesus has not appeared during his lifetime. This is something very important which should be understood by all these people who are in search of a sign. Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah is consistent on this, that Mahdi would appear first and then Jesus Christ, and both will share the same age. So all the Mahdis, whether they are Shia Mahdis or Sunni Mahdis of the past, do not qualify this test. They're out of the contest. Secondly, there is a tradition and this is why, surprisingly, nobody claimed to be Messiah, because they thought he would descend from heaven, and no false man could make him appear from heaven. So surprisingly, they all claim about Ahmadiyyat, but don't claim about Messiah. They know it's not possible for them because their understanding about Messiah was wrong, and it could not be fulfilled according to their understanding. That the prophecy could not be fulfilled according to their understanding. Now let's turn to another tradition which speaks of heavenly signs, which are beyond the scope of any man. Hazrat Rasulullah speaks of the two signs in the words, وَإِنَّ لِمَهْدِيِّنَا آيَتَيْنِ لَمْ تَكُونَا مُنْذُ خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ أَوَّلُهَا أَنْ يَنْكَسِفَ الْقَمَرُ فِي أَوَّلِ لَيْلَةٍ مِنْ رَمَضَانَ وَتَنْكَسِفُ الشَّمْسُ فِي النِّصْفِ مِنْهُ وَلَمْ تَكُونَا مُنْذُ خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. I have already spoken on this, haven't I?
Yes, but with no detail.
No detail. So these are the two signs which could not have been, first of all, forged by anyone who used there were people who used to forge hadith. No man could forge such a hadith because it relates to something which is heavenly, and it could not serve the purpose of any false claimant. You see, this is also very interesting. So many Mahdis are found in history, so-called Mahdis. None of them, without exception, has shown the advent of Jesus Christ in any form. Is absolutely dumb and numb over it. So how could he be the same person? And none of them has pointed to these two heavenly signs, because man could not control the heavenly signs, they are only in the control of God. So because it did not serve the purpose of any false man, how a false man could imagine such a thing, and for what purpose? Every hadith which was distorted or which was concocted had some purpose, some ulterior motive to serve. And with this hadith there is no ulterior motive, because it's something beyond human knowledge, human control. So the two signs are the moon will eclipse on the first of the nights and the sun would eclipse in the middle of the days of Ramadan. Now, I have read old scholars who have written very clearly. I have got some references which I'll speak during my address in Jalsa Salam. Inshallah. They understood the meaning before Ahmadiyyat, much before that Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam could only refer to the 3 nights of the moon eclipse and 3 days of the sun eclipse. And they understood, although they were many hundreds of years before, they were wise people and honest people. At least they understood by that time the nature of the eclipses, because this was scientifically discovered. So with reference to that phenomenon, they say the moon can get eclipsed only in 3 nights, 13, 14 and 15. The sun can get eclipsed only in 3 days, 27, 28, 29. So they inferred from this, obviously, that Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam must have been referring to 3 moon nights to be the first of the moon nights. Of these nights, the moon of the first night would eclipse. That is what they understood. And of the days of the sun, middle day was 29th, 28th, 27, 28, 29. So this is what they understood. And this is exactly how it happened. In 1894, full 5 years after Jamaat Ahmadiyya came into being in 1889, and the claim of Mahdaviyyat was made. So surprisingly, this sign came